everybody, it's Sara. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing the end of the year book tag. I feel like I might be a little bit late doing this tag. We're almost at the end of November and I feel like most people have probably done it already, but I had kind of honestly forgotten about this tag until I saw it on my feed a couple of days ago, and I thought that it would be a good one to do still. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. I will leave the original video down below, and without any further ado, let's jump into this tag. The first prompt for this one is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Two books come to mind for this prompt, and the first one is actually the book that I'm currently reading, which is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I started this last night. I'm only like not even 20 pages into it, I think, and you probably already know what this is about because this has been so hyped lately, but it's basically like a rom-com, romance contemporary adult novel that focuses on those two scientists, and it's kind of like an enemies to lovers fake dating thing. I know I'm going to finish this one, but yeah, just putting it out there because that's the first book that came to mind. And then the second book, I actually have no idea if I'm going to read it before the end of the year, and to be honest, I don't think it's gonna happen, but it's actually a book that I started a couple of months ago and I had to DNF it because I just fell into a fantasy slump, which was honestly so heartbreaking. And that book is Royal Assassin by Robin Hobb. I read Assassin's Apprentice this year and really enjoyed it, so I wanted to read the second book. I read about like 50% of it and then I just had to stop because it wasn't bringing me joy anymore. And it's not because I wasn't enjoying the book, because I did really enjoy what I've read and I definitely want to read it, and I want to keep on going with that series and with Robin Hobb's books because I just really love them. They're such classic fantasy tales and I really love that, but I was just not in the mood for that book at that point, and it just makes me so angry that I read like 50% of it and then I just DNF'd it because it is so big. It's such a big book, so I put in so many hours reading this and I was really enjoying the story, and then the slump happened. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to keep on going with that series, but I know that I want to keep on reading those books because honestly, I love the first one so much. So I know I'm probably really going to enjoy the rest of the series. Yeah, it just wasn't the right time, very sadly. The second prompt is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And yeah, I'm really filming this tag a little too late. But I actually have the perfect book for this prompt, and that book is also one that I really need to read before the end of the year because I borrowed this from a friend and I've actually borrowed it like a year ago at this point, so that is very embarrassing and it needs to happen. And that book is Vita Nostra by Marina and Sergei Dyachenko. This is a kind of like dark academia fantasy novel, and my friend who lended this to me really enjoyed it, and she's like, I really think you're going to love this book, please read it. And it's been a year, and I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why I still haven't picked this up. I need to read it. And Alex, if you're watching this video, if I don't read this by the end of the year, you can pick a punishment for me. I will publicly apologize to you. I will do anything that you want if I don't read this. But honestly, I think it's going to be the next book that I pick up, so should be fine. I should be screaming about this in your DMs very soon. And yeah, it also gives me a lot of fall, autumnal, weird, dark vibes. So I feel like this would be actually the perfect transition book from between the fall to winter also. So yeah, I don't know, there's just something about like Russian literature and dark academia. It's perfect for this time of the year in my mind. So that's the book I've chosen for this prompt, and I need to read it. Honestly, it's so embarrassing. Then the third prompt is there a new release you're still waiting for? And my short answer to that is no. I honestly do not really keep up with new releases. I'm very bad at doing that, and the only ones that I knew about for this year have already all come out. I already have all of them, so no. There is nothing on my radar for the rest of the year, and I don't even know what comes out next year either. I just don't keep up with these things, and I feel like maybe I should, but also I already have so many books that I want to read that honestly, if somehow there is a book next year that I'm missing out on because I don't know that it's coming out, it's probably just going to happen anyway at some point. So There you go. Prompt number 4 is a very dreaded one, and that is, what are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? Because how do you only pick 3? I recently did a video about the top 10 books that I really hope to read before the end of the year, so I will leave it linked up here in case you want to go and check that out. But the first book that comes to mind when I think about the list that I did in this video is Nevermoor by Jessica Townsend. I know that I want to read this book before the end of the year because everybody and their mother has been telling me to read this book ever since it got like very popular a couple of years ago. So yeah, that one needs to happen. Then I feel like the next 2 priorities would be Fireborne by Rosaria Munda and also She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. This would be a reread for me because I desperately want to read the second book, but I read this one like 2 years ago and I don't remember much about the plot of this novel, to be honest, so I need to reread it before I can dive into the sequel. And then this one I've heard nothing but great things about, and I feel like I've been talking about it in like every single video for the last month, so honestly you're probably tired of me talking about it. I should probably just get to it. So yeah, that's another one that is going to be my priority. Also, I need to make a confession and I need to address what I feel like is probably an elephant in this room, and that is the fact that I really do not think that I'm going to be reading The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson this year. I said at the beginning of the year that one of my reading goals was to start the Stormlight Archive series. Actually, I feel like at the beginning of the year I wanted to read like all of the books that were out, which beginning of the year Sarah was so ambitious, honestly props to her, but she wasn't realistic. And I said at my mid-year check-in that I thought that it was definitely going to happen. I'm gonna read at least the first one, and yeah, it's not gonna happen. I am not in the reading mood right now to read that big of a fantasy book. It's not gonna happen. So I apologize. I know you all probably really don't care, but I free myself of this obligation. This is not going to happen this year. It will probably happen next year, but then again, who knows? I'm not going to promise anything this time, because that was a mistake, but yeah, it's not gonna happen. I'm sorry, Way of Kings. You're gonna have to wait. Then prompt number 5 is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Honestly, I kind of already know which 2 books are the best contenders to be my best book of the year for 2021. So I doubt that anything that I could read in the last like month and a half would beat those 2 because they are just, they're everything to me. Obviously, I'm not gonna tell you what they are. So yeah, it would really, honestly, it would definitely be a shock if anything that I read would become my favorite book. But you know, apparently you should never say never. So we'll see how it goes. And then finally, prompt number 6 is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Honestly, I'm not really one to make reading plans anymore because I used to be such a planner when it came to my reading. Like, I would have a Goodreads reading goal, I would make TBRs and all of that and lists of books that I wanted to read during the year, and that just did not happen this year. I just decided to read whatever I wanted and not care about all of the numbers and just care about the books that I really was excited about. And honestly, this has been working very well for me, so I think I'm just going to probably carry that energy in 2022. I might have a couple of books that I really want to read next year. I might make a little list, but I don't think I'm gonna do much more than that. I feel like seasonal TBRs are just working so well for me right now, so I'm just gonna keep at it and, you know, just keep on reading what I feel like reading. Alright, so that is it for the end of the year book tag. Once again, I feel like I was a little bit late with that one, but you know, it's fine. It was still fun to answer all of those questions. I hope that you really enjoyed this video. If you did, please don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!